1, 2. Just kicking off with this remix. Silk Sonic. Totally unofficial. I'm just messing around with this. So yeah, I'll bring in the vocals in a second. I've got these on scene 2. Just let me know if you're tuning in. Welcome in the house, pussy. So yeah, just kicking off with this. As I said, this is Silk Sonic. Totally unofficial remix. Entirely in Maschine Plus. I'll just take you through a couple of the elements here. So this is from the original, right? This is from the song. It's pitched up a little bit faster, because I didn't want to time stretch it. So that means that it's higher in pitch and it's playing faster, which is kind of old school. And then the other elements are coming from the rhythm source expansion. And this is a mixture of one loop. Let me just try and get that. So there's that break. So that's in that rhythm source collection. And then, so that's a beat that I programmed on top. Bassline. So this is very much inspired by that rhythm source expansion. Okay, so I'm going to turn this down. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight, so I'm kind of open to ideas. So if anybody's got any suggestions, just going to essentially start with a blank slate. So I'm going to do a new, so it's just sitting here. And I actually did something last night on Instagram, which is quite interesting, and that was ended up being like a kind of boom bap hip hop thing, almost kind of Dilla-esque, but I could never say that my stuff's as good as Dilla, because he's in a league, or was in a league of his own, and still incredibly highly regarded. But yeah, I mean, usually, I'm known for making house, garage house, deep house. So I could do something along those lines. But if anybody has any suggestions, I'm interested. I can see a list of people, but nobody interacting right now. GC, welcome. Thanks for the comments. Really appreciate that. And if you're getting back into mixing and production, there's a whole ton of videos that I've got on this channel. To tell you the truth, I don't have a lot of time for doing tutorials anymore, because tutorials require a lot of time to be set aside, where you can kind of work on getting stuff together, editing it, rendering, all that kind of stuff. It takes time. So at the moment, I'm tending to do some live streams because it's just a bit more kind of freestyle. I don't have to worry so much about everything being perfect, and we can just make it more spontaneous, and there's that kind of two-way interaction, which is a bit more interesting for me. Okay, so Michael Heath, welcome. And please do some house. Yeah, okay, well, I can do some house for sure. House has many different kind of subgenres and styles. If you have any particular guidance about genre or subgenre related to house, that'd be pretty cool. I've got lots of expansions on the Maschine here, which means I have tons of scope. And the first starting point would be to push group, which is essentially kits, and then click on browser. And at the moment, this is my user selection. But what I would do here is take a look at the expansions that I've got loaded, and there are so many kits here. It's just utterly ridiculous. If I scroll through here, you can see on this window that the expansions are just being made available. And on this screen, you can see the presets. So you can scroll through these. And these are all designed for different styles. Some of these are probably naturally going to sit with something housey, whereas others maybe not so. And there's a real mixture. I mean, some of these are pretty much kind of ready to go tracks. Have a listen to some of these. Let me get one of these up and running. In fact, actually, I think I've actually got it set to not load the patterns. So actually, this could be quite interesting. This is totally random. I have no idea. Let me just bring this up a bit. I quite like that. So I can certainly do something a bit more deep housey with that. Let me just bring this. And of course, you're hearing the sound of me bashing the pads because the mic is sat next to me, and it's quite a sensitive mic. It picks up quite a lot. So possibly what I'm better off doing is obviously recording stuff, getting stuff down, but then probably I'll turn the mic down so that we can listen to it without the bashing. Now tempo. Let me have a think about this. Let me just double check. Oh, there is something there. Let me just clear these. Let's get rid of all of these. So literally starting again. And okay, GC, welcome. And you got a question. So besides the M1 piano and organ, what's your favorite old school 90s house preset? I mean, one of the things that I like about the kind of the M1 days, those kind of old school instruments, is actually some of those pads. Some of those vocal pads are really quite nice. And you guys possibly have seen me use the M1 wine pad a lot, which is pretty much just a sine wave with detuning and chorusing, to create that kind of width. So I think that's probably it. I mean, the M1 is a real classic. And if you've got a Roland Cloud, they've got like the JV2080. I don't have that, and that was a real classic as well for the 90s. But yeah, I'm going to just try and get something down. It's quite a techie kit, but it could be interesting. So what I think I'll do, this kick's quite short, and then this one is longer. And if I increase the level, maybe something along those kind of lines. So let's get a tempo, maybe 123. Gonna put the metronome on. Okay, I'm just gonna get a few bits down here to start off with. And there's still a pattern. I thought I cleared everything here. Let me just... okay, so what I've realized is that actually there are several groups with patterns. So let's just clear all this out. And let's start again. I don't usually use this particular expansion, so this is kind of new to me. What else do we have here? It looks as if there may be some other elements here. Oh, we are back in business. So let's go to the first group. And, okay, here we go. Okay. Now that's interesting, because what's happened is the length is shorter than I expected. So I'm going to double this. Oh, wait a second. There are so many other elements going on here. All right. I can't be bothered to try and sort this out. So I'm going to start totally from scratch again. And let me instead go back to the groups. And let's, in fact, take a look at this. So it looks as if there's a whole load of stuff being loaded here. Possibly not the best example. Let me just pick another one. And knowing my luck, this is going to be another one that's going to have tons of programming all over the place. Yeah, look at this. Oh, man. So what I'm going to do as a sensible thing is pick a totally different expansion, because otherwise I'm just going to take ages trying to sort that out. And I want to get something quite housey. And let's see what we have here. Okay, static friction, I think I remember being something that would do this. In fact, I've still got all these groups. I'm not very well prepared here, am I? Let's just start again. So, group, and let's try this. Once again, loading up loads of elements. I think what I must have done is somehow I seem to have reset my Maschine Plus, so it's loading up all of the patterns and stuff. But I thought I turned everything off there. So yeah, this is just going to go nowhere fast if we keep doing this. So let's do new, discard. I will instead just load up some kits. So let's. Now I know why. So what I didn't realize was that this was set to projects. So now we can start again. So we're going to go with kits, just kits, instead of the projects. And I was loading up a project and all these groups are here. No, that's wrong. So just remind yourself, like, onto groups if you're doing kits. That's what I'm essentially talking to myself here. Right, okay. What do we have? Right, so there, you've got something that's pretty complete. It hasn't loaded the kit, that's great. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens with this. Okay, tempo, 123. Let's start again. Okay, that's better stop. Okay, some interesting textures there. But that's not the kind of vibe that I want to hear. Let me take off the tempo, the metronome. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to swing it. So I'm going about 30%. What else do we have here? It's kind of a bit deep tech. That's actually a nice effect there. It feels almost like a kind of Danny Tenaglia, kind of New York tribal kind of vibe. So on that front, if I go to another cleared. So onto group B. Gonna look for something, maybe something percussive. But then out of curiosity, I'm just gonna pick one of these randomly. And that sounded like a bad DJ there because it was playing back the example kit. But at least I got a sense of some of the textures there. So what else? Interesting. It's a loop. Okay. Yeah, definitely heading down that tribal kind of route. Okay, Thomas, nice to see you again. How you doing? And yeah, I have actually used it in MPC, and there are aspects of it I really liked. You know, the new one, the live. But I found I was so used to the Maschine in terms of the workflow that I kind of struggled. But what I love about it is the, particularly the battery-powered one, the way that you've got the speaker on there as well. So you can just take it anywhere and make beats. So that's a big selling point. But the actual software I haven't used, so it's more about using the hardware. Okay, ENGX, hello, thanks for joining. So yeah, so it's kind of like a deep techie tribal kind of Tenaglia-ish kind of thing. So that, I'm just going to bring the volume down on that open hat. Okay, so ENGX, okay, so you've been using the Force. Yeah, I mean, the Force looks great. So that's an Akai thing that's almost like a cross between Push and MPC, but yeah, it looks great. Okay, now I'm gonna go, I think I'm just gonna switch it up and go to the default Maschine library. And then I am going to look for some percussion stuff to really add to that kind of tribal sort of vibe. Right, kits and percussion kit. And just to let you hear this, these are lots of different percussion kits from around the world. I mean, some really, really great kits here. Okay, that's more kind of samba-y. But yeah, ENGX, yeah, I'm sure it's got a steep learning curve. They're trying to do a lot in the one box. It's the same with any of these things. Okay, maybe congas, maybe. Okay, I'll see what happens. Okay, that's probably all right in terms of the conga elements. So maybe some more percussion. Just going to take a look at something like the extra percussion kit, which has got a real selection of different things. Okay, yeah. And I might actually bring the congas down. So I'm going to use a group volume. And maybe actually drop a ton of reverb on top. So if I use just the Maschine reverb. Nice. Maybe just drag that reverb time out a bit, but take the mix down. Thomas, yeah, agreed. It's getting closer to be a full DAW for sure, and that may increase in terms of time. They may bring in more features, but it's definitely got better over time. Okay. Just experimenting with the go-go's. So originally when I loaded them, the pitch was quite low. So I was trying to then see how they sounded like in terms of higher in pitch. But then, of course, they've got such a defined note. And the challenge there is to try to find something that almost feels musical. But it's percussive, you know, so does that sit with the rest of it? And what kind of attention or musical kind of vibe will that create? So I might play that in, but take it down lower. And then maybe put some reverb around that as well. Okay, let me bring the volume down. So what's interesting for me is that the conga pattern that I played in there, when I'm trying to do this kind of traditional, almost a go-go, it feels like it's not really sitting. Then when I try to copy the pattern of the conga, then it kind of feels like it sits nicely. Okay, that feels like it's working. Okay, yeah, that feels like it's nice in the background. Yeah, not really feeling the timbale. They could work, but it doesn't feel like it's doing that. Okay, let me just try with this, and then maybe I'm going to steer it away from the percussive stuff. So at the moment, I'm kind of arguing with myself about the levels. You can see I've pushed the mixer button, and we can see now the relative position of the fade is in essence like on the mixing desk. And just trying to get the balance right between these elements. And what I've just done there is I've shifted the overall level up because I think it was a little bit quiet. And then what I've done is I've taken down some of the elements. So in essence, what I've done is turned up the first kit and the second kit. Okay, so it's kind of tribally. I think I need some kind of electronic texture. Let's take a look, and this may be more of a kind of one-shot sample. So I'm going to go here, go to one-shots. Going to see what we have here. And this, once again, is going over the complete Maschine library. In fact, what I'll do is just go to all, and let's see. Are there any of these that might have maybe deep matter? If I go to, I'm looking for like a chord kind of sample, really. There do seem to be some. Maybe not really what I'm looking for. Let's just go through some of these and stay on the chord. But of course, not all of these have tags of chord in there. So maybe going back to static friction, because I think we're on that kind of a tip at the moment. Yeah, so here we go, chord. Okay, who else have we got that's new that I haven't said hello to? So, Mr. Zeka Peko, or Zeka Pico, hope I can pronounce it correctly, so thanks for joining. Woofy Cakes, that's a new name that I haven't seen, so welcome. Michael Heath, welcome, how you doing? And K-Elect83, just got your analog case yesterday for your Plus. Oh, right. Okay, so you've got, the wooden framing. Yeah, because that would be wicked. Yeah, that's something I think I would like to do, for sure. So anyway, we're looking for, like, some kind of musical element, I think. I'm not sure. Look, who knows? I'm not sure. It might work. Let's get the keyboard. This is more like a bass, isn't it? Really. But that could work. Now, I've kind of made life difficult for myself because if you listen to the congas, they have a pitch. If you listen to the agogos, they have a pitch. So what it means is that the bass is going to have to find a way to fit in. And I'll show you what I mean if I take these away. So that has a real distinct kind of note to it. And without the other elements, that kind of feels all right. But I can almost guarantee that when I put the congas back in and then the agogos, that it's going to sound out of place because they have a pitch. So I probably need to kind of get those to match this. There's something I quite like about this. But I think it's not going to be the right thing. In fact, what I'm going to do is on here, I'm going to take that off. Let's just go pad mode. On here, instead of a chord sample, what I'm going to do is I'm going to instead load up the bass synth, which is quite useful. What I need to do native instruments. Oh, I need to do this as a sound. Yeah. So coming over here, bass synth, load this. Which, funny enough, sounds like Herbie Hancock, Headhunters. So this needs some tweaking, basically. So this is a bass synth that's supplied. You can change the tone and octave, filter. There's envelope controls. I mean, who would have thought this would end up turning into almost like an acid track. I don't think that's really the right vibe, but it's interesting. But there's something I really like about this bass synth. It's really simple, and it's good fun to play around with. So you're switching between the different oscillators from, it's like the waveform type, so you've got a sine wave, and you rotate, and it turns into a sawtooth, and then goes pulse wave all the other way around. Interesting. Now, actually, my background way back was in the acid kind of days. So the late 80s. So what was it? 88, 89. Yeah, acid tracks were really popular, and that was a sound that I really got into. So it's quite interesting to revisit that. And, I've sacked for the moment. I've taken the congas out. I've taken the agogos out. And I might bring them back. But firstly, what I want to do with this bass is I want to add an effect. Because I do think the delay is going to sound good on top of that. So we go to beats delay. And so this is going to be all over the place to start with. I'll take the mix down. Take the stereo field a bit wider. That actually sounds wicked. Yeah, so that's good, but it feels like it needs to be underpinned with something else, maybe even just like a sine wave. Okay, couple of questions coming through. Are you using clips? No, and I haven't even got used to that idea. I'm just keeping it simple. I tend to do just literally scenes and patterns, and I play stuff in live generally. I vibe on that more so, but the step sequencer is something that can be used. Absolutely, but I just don't tend to use it, to be honest. Yeah, so I think underpinning that with something else. So let's get back to maybe another bass synth keyboard. Let's take this sine wave. This needs to come up a level. So volume. Actually, back onto the pad mode. And onto here. I need to get a bit more level out of this, so I'm going to place an effect afterwards, I think. Let me use something, let me see if I can do so with the EQ. Take the gain of each of these bands up, effectively, and then you only need to do it from the lows. Okay, we can hear that more. Okay, I'll record that in. pretty good. And there we go. All of that percussive stuff that I put in earlier is definitely not working anymore. So sometimes you have to kind of go on the journey, you know, when you're composing, and you don't know where it's going, but then you have to kind of trust your kind of gut instinct. And so, you know, my feeling is that those percussive elements that I put all that effort into earlier are not really working for me. So that was that conga kit, and then the go-go's. So let me take them off again. Okay, quick shout out to Coda Bars. Thanks for joining. Just gonna bring that one down a bit. Oh. In fact, the other percussive hits that I put on before, I'm not really feeling those anymore. So I like this more kind of driving synth, you know, almost slightly tribal backbeat. With what I could do here is just really clear things out. I could use something else here. So instead of that, I could use something different. I wonder. Let me just have a look. Kit, subtypes, special kit. What do we have over here? Okay, some vocals.
The deeper side of house. The deeper side of...
I mean, look, it's a bit kind of corny, but it could be. It could be good. And I've just kind of lost that somehow. What did I do? Did I just move to a different expansion? I did, didn't I? So let's go back to static friction. Let's go special kit and house voice.
The deeper side of house. The deeper side of...
Okay, that's over here. Let me just check what's going on here. Did I do something that's stopping this from triggering? It could be. Let me see. Not sure exactly why that hasn't loaded the kit. I'll just try again. Maybe I'm muting it.
This freaks me out.
And that's it. I was muting it. So
The deeper side of house.
and maybe I'll take that house vocal.
Deeper side of house.
Okay, so this with a massive delay on there. So what I'm doing there is I've taken the vocal, isolated the house, stuck a massive, great big delay on here with a grid of 416. Feedback is 96.4%. That's why we've got all these echoes. But what happens is they echo kind of on the offbeat, which means on top of everything else, they work quite nicely. So I record it in, let's have a look. Okay. Let me just double that. And in fact, what I've got is, because the loop was only one bar, I've got a selection of houses that I don't need. It's just too busy, right? So if I go to events, and it's this one, isn't it? So can I just move this over? Oh, for some reason it's locked on something here. Right, so select this, and now I can adjust these kind of start and end points. So what I'm looking for, in fact, is to take away. So these two controls are almost like a region, start and end, like a selection. And when you rotate these, it will basically, I don't know if you can see this, it's very hard to see. I've kept the original first one, but now I've selected all of the others. And if I do Shift plus 9, it clears those. Yeah, okay. So it's echoing off into the distance. And maybe another vocal could be used in the gaps. So let's have a look, see what we've got.
This freaks me out. When you fall asleep, before I start to work.
Give me a bass line.
Give me the hi-hat. Can you take that shuffle?
Okay, here we go. Okay, so that was cool, but I didn't like the second instance of that vocal. So back on here again, events, this selected, and use this as a kind of boundary thing. So the second one, there we go. I'm going to delete that. So Shift plus 9, clear, and back. Okay, that's cool. And maybe one more of those vocals.
This party's wild.
Not that.
This is rolling. Music. The speed still out of control.
Okay, if I edit that.
Out of control.
Bring the volume down. Okay. Oh man, it's mad. It's mad. Yeah, when this kind of stuff happens, it's good fun, because in a way, what you're drawing from is kind of this. I guess it's kind of like the legacy history, and obviously, I've been out a lot over the years to different clubs, and it's just mad. It's almost like regressing to certain places and times. And it's just amazing to just spontaneously just be able to share this with people that are tuned in live. That's one of the magic things about these live streams. And I've made hundreds and hundreds of tutorial videos, and it's kind of I'm maybe a bit bored of them. I'd much rather do stuff on the fly, I think. But who knows? I could change my mind. Who knows? But anyway, so yeah, keep it simple. Thanks. Thanks for joining as well. Who else haven't I not said hello to? So Meek is and Wisdom. Interesting name. And Detroit. Oh man, Detroit is such an important place. For me, in terms of the legacy of the music that I'm into, for me it was all about Chicago, New York, and Detroit, each having their own flavor. And I was going out clubbing in 80, 87. 88, and Detroit at that time was incredibly important. Derek May, Juan Atkins, Kevin Saunderson as well. Those guys were creating incredible futuristic music, and obviously Chicago and New York were very important at that time. And that's the rest is history, really, isn't it? The rest of the world picked up on those sounds. Okay. Man, this is so much fun. Okay, so Tomato Hilarito, thanks for the comment. And this is not a Maschine Mark III, it's a Maschine Plus. And so this is standalone. This is not running with a computer at the moment. Everything is being done in the hardware alone. The audio outputs are going to a mixer that I have in front of me. And literally, this is literally in the box. Okay, totally in the box. That's all it is. And so I've been forcing myself. Part of the reason why I've been doing the Maschine Mondays is to force myself to study it and to use it as much as I can. Things like these events and editing these. If you're used to a computer with a screen, it's so much easier. But restricting yourself here, I think there's almost like this deeper connection with the music because you're focused on one machine. So in a way, it feels, I don't know, the things that I kind of create on here feel more clubby somehow, more inspired. I've got a whole load of things here that I need to turn into proper tracks and get them out, for sure. And, there's a vibe. There's a vibe for sure. Okay. So look, it's been a while. I'm going to try and add a couple more elements, and then probably call it a day. So I'm looking for some kind of synth thing, I think. Maybe some kind of arpeggiation. Who knows? So on here, kind of like my last free group, I think. But then I could delete the one with the go-go's. So on here, what am I going to do? Let's have a look. So maybe, because the Maschine actually has some built-in synths, maybe I'll go for the Monarch, which is like a mini Moog style synth. If we go to synth lead, oh, now that's interesting. overbearing at the moment. Let me just scout through some of these. I'm also going to turn it down. I don't know what I've got in my head. I think I've got something. I just need to try and turn this into reality. So, right, that's something to work with. Just need to bring it down. Oh, this is a shame. I'm running out of battery on the laptop, and I had to do that because I only got 2 USB-C sockets, so I'm going to have to stop now. So anyway, thanks to everybody joining. Shame I can't complete this, but yeah, literally, battery's about to die, and then the recording will stop. So thanks to everybody for tuning in, and